Hello. So today we're going to talk about how to build a 100K business without quitting your 9 to 5. So a lot of the advice that we will get when it comes to building something for ourselves will be, okay, let's go ahead and just go all in and give up our current job. We want to build that business. And a lot of the times we don't necessarily need to do that. We don't have to go ahead and let it all go in order to build something for ourselves. And so today, that's something that I want to talk about with how we make that happen. And I myself, which I'll break into a little bit more, have spent time within my corporate career also building my business at the same exact time. So there is a way to do both. And so with that, let's go ahead and talk about it. So in case we haven't met yet, I'm Dani Tan. I am the founder of She Belongs Here, an organization that helps women when it comes to leadership, as well as organizations themselves when it comes to being better about helping women in leadership, supporting them, and being able to uplift them. And so if you're here, it's because you want to learn something about whether it's like building up leadership for yourself, getting some kind of promotion, or building something for yourself. Let's say it is something that is either fractional work, part-time work, or going full-time into your business to build something for yourself. And so I myself have pivoted careers 5 times. So I've been in PR, sales, merchandising, e-commerce, you name it, all while achieving 11 promotions in 11 years. I went from being a sample coordinator to a VP at a multi-billion-dollar company to wanting to do this full-time because my passion and love has always been people development, helping especially women, first, second gen women of color with their careers. And so that's how I kind of went into all of this. I used to volunteer. I still do at times with a nonprofit called America Needs You, which helps first gen college students with their careers and figuring out internships, all that good stuff. And so I love doing that so much. And that's how I built my business. So that's what I do now. So going into today's topic of how to build a 100K business without quitting your 9 to 5, I would say the basis of all of this that I want to really drive home is if you are someone who needs security, right? Needs security in the sense of this stability that maybe you grew up in financial scarcity. Maybe you grew up in an environment where you were told having a job at a 9 to 5, having benefits, having a paycheck was really important for you to feel stable. A lot of the internal systems within us will require us to have that to feel safe. And so it could feel super nerve-wracking to decide to go all into a business and give up our corporate experience or our jobs, whatever job it is, could be profit, nonprofit, it doesn't matter, but it can be really scary to let go of what that stability feels like. And so with that, we end up kind of being like, okay, I don't know if I could ever go after that big business idea or that idea that I've been noodling, could I do it? And so what I want you to know is that there is a way to build a business that is sustainable and comforting and take care of you and be in alignment with what it is that you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and break that down. And the thing that I want to reiterate is, for me, just as some fun facts, I was definitely always raised in the values of having a paycheck is really important because it's steady. Having benefits is important because it's steady. I grew up where there was financial inconsistencies. And so I knew how important it was going to be for me as an adult. Like, nope, I don't want to have to worry about if this bill was paid or if I want to buy something, do I have to compare the prices? I just want to be able to go do it. And so for me, a lot of the times of the promotions in 11 years was really about, success for survival. That's a big thing that I say about myself was if I was going to be successful, I knew that would lead to survival because I would be getting a higher paycheck. It always came back to if I felt like I was struggling, then it meant that what could I do to kind of move up? And so once you have gotten to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling pretty good about the work that I've been doing and my career, what's next, right? How do I build this for myself? Because once we get so good at what we do within our careers, then we're kind of like, wait a minute, I could do this for myself. We start to see that other path that starts opening up for us. I've been doing this for organizations. I'm helping them, raise funding. I'm helping them, go ahead and increase their revenue. I'm helping them hire their teams. I'm helping them create stronger marketing campaigns. So if I'm so good at doing this for everybody else, why am I not doing it for myself? That's usually the question that comes up, because a lot of the path of the women that I work with, they go from coming to me because they have been super driven and motivated and they have been working really hard and ambitious and they're working on getting that promotion, going to that next level. Then once they've achieved that, they start to see, wait, I've been pouring my heart and soul into this. What should I build for myself that allows me to have all of that money that I'm generating for an organization go direct to me, and also how I can create flexibility and freedom over my time, my space, and who I work with. And so that's usually the next step that comes up with the clients that I work with. And so I want you to know that is 100% possible. It just feels really scary to take that first step. And a lot of the times for us, it is driven by finance. Like the biggest marker I always see is that it comes back to the financial piece of why we're not taking that step to go ahead and build our business. And so that's why I want you to know, like, yes, you can build $100,000 business for yourself while you still have your 9 to 5. And the reason why I recommend that is because it is just for safety, for your nervous system, safety for your mind. You're trying to rewire a long, like many years. Because if you're working with me, you're probably in your 30s or your 40s or even your 50s, and you're trying to figure out like, okay, is it safe for me to go from having this career that I've had to building something for myself? And so I will break down, per usual, the steps and phases surrounded around that to create some safety for you, because it's not that you can't do it, it's that you haven't done it before. Therefore, our brain wants to default into its safety patterns of, well, what is familiar and what is safe? And that kind of keeps us out of taking action and exploring what it is that we want to do. And so since I know 9 times, really 10 times out of 10. It's really 10 times out of 10. It's always rooted back to money, whether it's financial scarcity, whether it's money mindset. I can tell you that the best ways to test out building a business for yourself and ultimately building a business for yourself and leaving your 9 to 5 if you choose to, or maintaining both. Maybe you want to have both. Maybe you want to have your business that's generating money as well as your 9 to 5. That's okay too. But the best way to feel secure in doing that is having that financial foundation, and a better way of doing that than having your 9 to 5. So while you're building your business. So let's go ahead and break into it. So I have a client who she got paid like a premium hourly rate for a 15-minute consultation call. She didn't have a website, no business license. It was just her brain. And so I'm going to share a little bit of how she did that and what that builds for her belief-wise. But I just want you to know you don't have to choose between like security of a salary or freedom of building something for yourself. And I really want to challenge you today, because that's like it's like a false narrative that we can only have one thing or the other, and we can't have both. And there's a way to make it work for you. And so just know that you have already spent years, because if you listen to this, I know you have amazing expertise and an awesome career. It doesn't matter if it is 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. I know that you have spent years already solving high level problems for companies, for organizations, for your team, for your boss, for your family, for your friends. And so the fact that you've already been able to solve complex problems, right, and help people on so many different levels, that is already something that is your expertise that you have no idea is something that other people would pay a premium for. And so the only thing is missing is for you to, 1, believe it, and 2, for us to translate those skills so you can kind of see it and be able to package it so people will purchase it. And so I want you to know this episode is dedicated to the person who has the expertise and has been wondering how to turn it into a business without completely burning everything down and giving up their job. This is what we're going to break down for you. So part 1 is the safety illusion. So the reason why you haven't started building your own business and going and pulling that out, it's not because you're too busy. I'm gonna say that one more time. It's not because you're too busy. It's because you were told that safety only comes from, let's say, a paycheck, right? And since I already said this belief runs so deep, especially for women of color, for second gen, we feel like we must overfunction at our work to prove that we belong, right? Because we've been told if you work super hard, if you're super dedicated, you'll get to the next level, you'll be recognized, you'll be acknowledged. And that's the thing is then we start overfunctioning at our jobs, at our 9 to 5s, and we're leaving nothing for ourselves and for our own vision outside of work. So if you were giving everything to your job and you're leaving nothing left for yourself and your own vision outside of your job, you're gonna be pretty tired, right? Of course, you're gonna be too busy to build something for yourself because you are typically going above and beyond the work that you're doing at work. And so the thing that I want you to know is I want you to kind of reframe for yourself, like, where am I giving free hours to my job? Where am I over-indexing and giving free hours and energy to my job that could actually be utilized for my own vision, for myself, for my business, right? And so I want you to think about that piece, and I want you to reframe it. Is that like, by over-indexing at this job and overdoing at my current job, that is not proving that I belong because I'm already here, right? It's not proving that I belong and that I don't have to over-index to showcase that my worth. I do not have to over-index to show my worth or to prove that I belong. And that safety is solely not from a paycheck, but also understanding your own expertise, your own strengths, and how you can utilize that on your terms and on your timeline if you want to turn that into a business. You have all that magic, all of that, all the schooling, all the courses, all the training, all the education, all the podcasts, all the books that you're reading, all the things that you're consuming. You have all this expertise, and why would you only bottle that up for one person to profit off of? So if you say you don't have enough time, I challenge that. It's so hard. And what I want you to think about is, if you're to think about your time and the time that you give to your work versus the time that you give to yourself, are you happy with that? Does that feel good? Are there ways that you can actually kind of be a little bit more tight or regimented with the hours that you give your work? And then you can start to buy back some hours for yourself, which ultimately will help your future self of what it is that you want to believe and build. Because a lot of the times when we do say, I don't have time, my retort always is, well, we make time for the things that are most important to us. We make time for the things we want to prioritize. And whenever we do have goals that we want to achieve, we have to build out our calendar to support those goals and take action during those time slots to go after those goals. So it really is something as simple as, what do I want to achieve? Do I have the time dedicated to it? And am I taking actions during that time to make it happen? And so that's where I challenge you. That's where I challenge you for that, for sure. And so I want you to know that you don't need to do this like perfectly and right. You don't have to earn anything else. Like, you have already earned it, and it's just time of making it happen. So you have already solved problems that organizations pay probably thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to utilize your expertise to fix things, to make money, to gain new clients. And so your expertise is already there. It's already been proven. You don't need to earn it. The right thing to do is just to know that you have earned this, and now it's time to utilize your expertise for yourself and what you want to build for yourself. And so let's go ahead and dive into how to start this for yourself without having to burn everything down. We don't want you to become like a terrible employee while you're building your business. That's not the case. It's just being able to understand how you can actually simultaneously build both while you're doing that, and that you don't have to leave your job, and you can maintain that safety while you're going after what it is that you want. And so here are some steps that you can take to start working towards building a business for yourself while you're still collecting your paycheck from your 9 to 5. So the first move you can do is get specific on one problem. So what is one problem that you can help solve? And I always think of it in this sense is like, what is a question that people always come to you for asking for advice? Who's always asking for advice on a certain topic? That's probably something that could resonate for you. So for example, I have one client who she was always being reached out to on how she is so good at doing growth for audiences for apps. For myself personally, people were always coming to me, which I never thought about this, of wait, how did you change industry so many times? Or how did you get to a promotion to an executive level at such a young age? And so when these questions constantly being asked of me of like, wait, how do you do this? How do you do this? That tells me that's the one specific problem that people see me as an expert, whether you want to own that or not, that I know how to solve. And so I want you to get really specific about not just I help with leadership or I just help with marketing. Think about what is the one thing that you've kind of helped transform for people. So is it expanding something of a market, like market expansion? Is it being able to like streamline an operation of a business? Is it being able to build out teams? Is it being able to, move projects through timelines on time? What is that thing that you do that people always come to you for? Because a lot of the times, especially for all of us who's listening to this episode, it's that you are typically the go-to person at work all the time. So what are you the go-to person at work for? That's one of the things I'll say. What are you the go-to person at work for? Or what are the questions people are always asking you to either help on or what you do? And that's what I want you to be your specific problem that you're going to help with from building out your business. And you're like, oh my gosh, well, I don't know if that lights me up, or I don't know if that's the right thing, or I don't know if that's what I want my business to be about. Listen, our businesses will go through many iterations and many phases. And so this is more for you to get up and to start to take action towards building your business. So have this be the pilot business for you that you're going to experiment and explore what it is you'll do. And the easiest way to get you moving from not having anything going to having something started is to get the specific one problem that you currently have or that you can solve, that you're good at, so you can just get your butt off the couch and moving towards building something. So you can change it later on, but this is a repeatable process and a format that you can follow. The second piece is I want you to explore who is that problem you're solving for. So for example, like, are you solving this problem for founders of businesses? Are you solving this problem for career professionals? Are you solving this problem for insert who the person is that needs help with that problem that you have an expertise behind? And the goal is not to pitch. You're not pitching them whatsoever. The goal is for you to do market research. It's not a job search. And that completely changes the energy of how you approach these chats. And why are you doing this? Because you want to listen to them and ask them questions, and you're not selling to them. You're asking them, hey, like, I'm looking to make a move into building a business for insert market growth, insert, designing websites, insert consulting on operations. I'm curious for you as either like a founder, a business owner, insert name, where are you getting stuck on things? Like, what do you feel like you need help with most in your business? I'm trying to understand this as I grow my business of helping, people similar to you. And this is just part of that research for me of understanding like what is the biggest problem out there and that I can help personally solve. That's all that is. So what are you doing? You are really getting specific on your offer, also who you help, what they need. And then here's the last piece. The last piece is getting paid. And then you can like build the rest later. Well, a lot of us, we need like a website, a logo, we need the LLC, X, Y, and Z in order to get started. And that's not the case whatsoever. The goal is for you to start to then build the belief of your expertise and that you can get paid for it. And so how do we do that? We do that by going ahead and having consultation calls, something so simple, right? You can do that by step one, joining a community that you can be a part of and doing a presentation on your skills just so that can get out there. And at the end, creating an offer saying like, hey, for anyone who joined this, like, I'm happy to do like a 15-minute consultation call with you, post this, just what I would personally advise to you. That will go ahead and get you some lead generation going, get you an idea of some ideal clients, and also get you an idea of what the problems are and how you can solve them. Then you can always convert them into a full, client from there on. But you can always kick off through a group or a community, share a workshop, and then give them a little entry point of how to work with you after. So that's one way. Another way is, of course, being able to just put there out in your network, in your existing network, letting your either friends or past colleagues know what it is that you're doing. And if they have any feedback for you on what you're working on, they have any insights on who potentially could be working with you, that's a great way to go ahead and generate some business. And all you need to do is land one. Once you land one, it starts to build this belief for you and this evidence for you that it is possible for you to do this. You're like, oh, wait a minute, I just got paid to do that? I just had this knowledge sitting in my brain. And yes, you can. And so I have a client who, she was in the middle of a reorg for her organization. And she was like, okay, the business is getting reorged. She had just finished getting a promotion. And she was kind of like, just to kind of future-proof myself, even though I've just gotten a promotion, I just know that this business is going to take a different direction. I want to build something for myself. And so what we worked on was how could she translate what her skills are currently at her company? What is it that she wants to focus on for future forward? And what is it that, she wants to start solving problems on overall? So we got really clear on what is the problem she wants to solve? Who is it that she wants to help? She did the outreach and the market research, meeting with different founders, talking to them. And by doing that itself generated opportunities for her to do some consulting. Then just talking to her, because she already had the existing expertise, she just hadn't packaged it that way. She hadn't packaged it for fractional work. She hadn't packaged it that she could help people. And so just by us packaging what it is that she does, who she can help, and creating a format around that, and her having these market research chats just to check in, they had already converted to becoming clients for her and for her to take on some work, which is awesome, right? And it's like, who doesn't want that? And they're just from having conversations. And so I want you to know that like every interaction that she decided to take does not have to be about money, but a lot of the times ends up evolving into something new. And so she realized that through that, wow, I don't have to leave my job to make this happen. 2, she created the evidence for herself that she can make this happen. And then she also realized I am an expert at this. And she had known that to some level, but she didn't believe it. And so she did not need a brand. She did not need a website. She just needed evidence to believe in herself for that. And that's what this did. So I want you to know that this is possible for you. You do not need more credentials, and you don't have to have some like perfect plan. You need to fully decide that you are going to allow yourself to own your value, and then you're going to make this happen for yourself, because there are companies out there that are paying $10,000 a month for a fractional executive, and they're not paying for potential. They're paying for the fact that you already have this experience from your expertise, from your career, of what it is that you do, and that is you. And so $100,000 business does not require you to quit your job. It just requires you to know what you know is worth willing saying out loud and getting paid for, and that you have been overqualified for. Oh my gosh, you have been overqualified for this since day one. And so I really, 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 really want you to know that this is you. And if you're like, oh, I'm not sure if what I have done is enough or has enough impact, like, no. Like straight up, no, I don't believe you. And because we always love to undersell ourselves, we are our own harshest critics. And if that is something that you're feeling, then like, come to me, we will figure it out together. That's why I work with women who are moving their way up throughout corporate, realize they want to build something for themselves. And that's what we do. We create a plan. Okay, how are you going to feel safe and secure within your corporate job? And how do we build the plan for you to build the business outside of that, whether you want to do both simultaneously or eventually leave one to go to the other full time? And so that's the work that we do together. And so if you're ready to stop thinking and ruminating about your business and actually start building your business, then go to my website, danitan.com. That's DANITAN.com, and book a discovery call. If you go to contact, you click on that, book a discovery call with me. And what does that look like? It's a 60-minute call. And for the first 30 minutes, we're talking about your goals, what it is you want to focus on, what kind of help you need, what challenges are coming up for you. And then I create a custom coaching plan for you so you feel supported throughout this process. And so with that, then you get to decide, does it make sense to work together or doesn't it? And I always will be honest with you if I feel like it's a good fit or if I feel like there's somebody else I can recommend. And so I highly recommend that you book a call just to learn. I mean, years ago, I was very unsure and uncertain for myself. I wanted to build something for myself. I didn't know what I wanted to build. I didn't know who I wanted to help. I didn't know what expertise I had. And I was like, should I be booking a call for myself? And when I did, I found out that, wait, I don't have to have all the solutions to go into coaching. I don't have to know exactly who I'm helping, how I'm helping them, or what my business is. I just needed to take the initiative to get started. And when I got on that call, I walked away realizing, okay, I know who I want to help, how I want to help them, and my expertise. Okay, how do I start to believe that I can do it? And then how do I create the systems to make that happen? And that's what I do for you. And so if you are ready to make that happen, go ahead and do that and come tell me your story, because I want to hear it. I know that you have amazing levels of expertise, and I want to help you package that, believe that, and make it happen. So I will talk to you soon, and have a good one.